Okay, I always like to get to the I like to get to the boom, 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 boom part of Hawaii 5-0. Good morning. Everybody hear me okay out there? Give me a thumbs up or a fuck off or any of that stuff will work. I'm a little dry this morning. Not like in a Ben Shapiro sort of way. Sorry. I had candy. In my mouth. Oh, Rick, about to go to work in hell, or maybe he has the day off. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Yeah, that was Hawaii 5-0 theme. The Ventures doing that. Now, if you go on there, there's like a 3.5 minute long full length version. I'm out of breath from doing all the boogieing and stuff. Woo! Woo! Bring me my water, my scarves. Ooh, this is gonna be a long sermon. Yeah. So, yeah, the Ventures, but someone put together like a full length theme of this. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing theme songs as coming in. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of like motivational songs too. And let me know if I'm a little hot out there too, like the audio, like peeking into the red. So good. All right, and first off, Choosy, I love you, Choosy. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Choosy, Heretics, Choose Carnation Revolution now, who usually pops in on the Secret Show chat. Good friend of ours. But I gotta tell you, Choosy loves writing them novels in the chat. So I was worried when I started the show at the beginning. There's the countdown, and there's there's a credit roll. Yeah, well, I mean it's not a credit roll, but it's you guys chatting, and it goes up. So I didn't know how many people were going to be up this early to watch this shit. So I put up some nice paneling there and little pictures. And if people were chatting and it scrolled over it, great, that's fine. So I see Choosy up in there, and it's just Choosy this morning. I'm like, well, Choosy's back. Love you, Choosy. We got Willie Bragg show in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Rick Solis, like I said, good to see you, buddy. Anonymous. Afternoon for Anonymous. That's right. Anonymous is like over there. Anonymous, you finally get to see like a regular ass show of this thing, Glavin, and you ain't gonna stay up for like in the middle of the night. So I understand. See, we're trying to accommodate all y'all. Copeland over there on Rockfin, good to see you, buddy. Good morning to you, sir. Who else we got up in here? Fingerman. Good to see you, Fingerman. Fingerman. All right. I think that's everybody. I'm sure more pile in as they awake. Although it is July 5th, the day after the July 4th. That's usually how it works. But so people may have had a little bit too much of Grandpa's cough medicine last night. And may not be quite awake yet, so that's fine. So that's why we do this to tape. Hang on just a second. We got a little weird thing going on here. One moment, please. So, how is everybody's morning today? How you folks doing? Are you having a good time? I had to fix my clock here. I had to be sneaky about it. Did you guys do anything for the 4th of July besides hide in your dwellings in terror? Wondering if it was actually fireworks outside or maybe it was gunshots. It's not a fun game to play every year, but it is a game that is available. So Willie, yes, you are correct. We let's see. He says in the UK, former Labour MP, current independent socialist MPs, Jeremy Corbyn being reelected in his Islington North constituency was the bright light of last night's general election. Yes, we're going to get to that right now, as a matter of fact. Thanks, Willie, for spurring that on. I got to get rid of 5-0 down here. Oopsie sauce. Yes, in the UK, British elections, they had choosing a new prime minister and, of course, MPs along the way. So let's get to it here. If Lord willin' and that creek don't rise. So here we go. UK general election live results 2024 by the numbers. That's from Al Jazeera. We try to stay away from the mainstream outlets as much as possible. Sometimes we have to use them. We'll be using some later today, but it's not like for anything where it's like opinionated type stuff, thing, Glavin, whatever. But I digress. So let's get back to it. Labour leader Keir Starmer has officially become the UK's new prime minister, with his party winning more than 400 of the 650 seats in the House of Commons, the lower house of Britain's Parliament. And here is how all the parties performed. So let's see here. So Labour got 412 seats. Conservatives 121. The Liberal Democrats got 71. Others, I'm assuming they have like write-ins or some sort of thing like that. Let's see. Others got 11. S&P 9. And then you see the rest there. Green got 4 seats. So yeah, so that's what the map looks like if you were using a light bright from the 1970s. Hey-o! Light bright, it's a children's delight. Out of sight, you can make it light bright. I think that was a song. I probably made that up. So in contrast, in 2019, Boris Johnson's Conservative Party secured a majority by seizing seats from the Labour Party in its traditional heartlands in the North and Midlands. But let's see. The Conservatives won 365 seats with a net change of plus 49, with Labour had 203 seats, net change of negative 60 from the prior election. The S&P gained 13 seats, bringing the total number of seats in Parliament to 48. So Liberal Democrats had 11 seats, and that changed. Okay, blah blah blah. The Greens maintain their only seat, so they got to keep their seat there. Very nice. So that was 2019. All right, so yeah. So now it's Labour's turn to to take the beatings from the public, because, you know, as is here in America, Labor and the Tories, as they're known, pretty much one and the same. That's why you do have the other parties there, which is strategically, if you're strong enough, you may not be able to get the majority, but you can get a sizable enough to make sway with the party that is in control, right? Like, they may be able to do more things with your help, that kind of thing. It's, you know, it's basically everybody just, you know, coalitions and stuff like that. Whereas here, you don't really have that. We were trying to get that where you had like a block of people, kind of like the crazies from 2010, the conservative folks who really, you know, took advantage of the numbers that they had. So if you're a Labor fan, congratulations, but really, is it really congratulations? Ed Heller, what's up? Oh, you got your coffee. You can start the show now. Very good. So Choosy, even your name on there is long. Man, you were just like Choosy. I want to see you write a book. I seriously want to see you write a book. That thing would be like make War and Peace look like a TV guide from 1971. Anyway, but there's that guy, Keir Starmer, who kind of looks like that Adam Hates Everything guy. I don't know. Doesn't he kind of look like that guy? Kind of Adam Hates Everything. I don't know. Let's see if I can zoom in on him. You know? I guess I can't zoom in. But this guy right here, look at that. The glasses, the hair. He looks like a reject from he didn't get to be the second keyboard player in Flock of Seagulls. So, oopsie. So he went into politics. See? It's just like I said, if someone had told a kid named Adolf he was a good painter, might have a different history. You know? I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying. All right. That was fun stuff. That was but some bad news though across the pond. And this really is bad news, I think. Our friend, our brave soldier in Rochdale, George, the champion Galloway, is no longer MP of Rochdale. Fuck. Yes. So, okay. Why aren't you doing that? What are you doing? Where are you going? All right. Okay. Fuck it. All right. So, yeah, George Galloway, UK left wing maverick Galloway loses his parliamentary seat. Veteran left-wing political maverick George Galloway lost his parliamentary seat in Britain's election yesterday, defeated by the Labour candidate in the northern English town of Rochdale. Galloway had served for just 4 months after winning a by-election triggered by the death of the town's previous lawmaker. Back in March, Galloway's pro-Palestinian campaign helped him win votes from the town's Muslim community, and he secured what was his 7th stint as a lawmaker, representing his left-wing Workers' Party of Britain. This is from Reuters, so I'm just kind of reading this verbatim. That win came after Labour withdrew support from its candidate over a recording espousing conspiracy theories about Israel. Both Conservatives and Labour Party have said they want the fighting in Gaza to stop, but they have also backed Israel's right to defend itself, angering some among the 3.9 million Muslims who make up 6.5% of Britain's population. Yeah. So, George Galloway out in Rochdale. It really doesn't make sense either. I mean, they said the only reason he won it before, it was because, like, they stopped supporting the Labour candidate in that race, and so I guess they got a different Labour candidate. I don't know, but it's pretty messed up. So, but he'll still be on. He still have a show. I mean, it's not like his show's going away. He just won't be MP for now. So who knows in the future? You know how the English they like that. They have like elections at a drop of a hat over there. So who knows if he's going to run again anytime soon or not. But you're not here for in-depth political analysis on this. You're here for the nuts and bolts of the stories. We that's what we're here for. So we wish George the best. I'm sure he'll be back at it. So I'm actually so George lost. He is a joke. Oh, Antoine, you think he's a joke? I don't know. I don't know that much about British politics, but it's when you don't have the support in a system like that that's heavily rigged against any kind of real progressive, and I mean like progress, not people progressives, it's always going to be tough for people like that to hang on to any sort of even a little bit of power like that. They won't let you do it. So, but we'll see. Maybe someone else rises up. But like I said, as here in America, these elections are built upon systems that are just rotten to the core. Like putting frosting on a shit cake is basically what it is. Now, here in America, you have your state ballot initiatives and stuff like that. I'm not talking about like your local and state stuff that actually might, make an actual difference. But on the national level like that, it really is theater. So, and we have to keep emphasizing that and telling our friends and family who don't know that that's what's going on. All right. So that is British politics for you, British elections, that is. So now, speaking of gusting hot air, king of segues. Not really, but I'm trying. I'm a trier. Hurricane Beryl. What's Beryl up to? So we got Hurricane Beryl tracker latest update on path, Mexico landfall. We'll let the meteorologist guy, Glavin, tell us what's up.
I do have an update for you. So this just came down from the National Hurricane Center. So I'm looking down and reading it here for you. They say Beryl makes landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula. This was just off to the northeast of Tulum. And there was a nearby weather station that measured sustained winds of 59 miles per hour with a wind gust of 81. So see, as we turn here to the wall, when you hear maximum sustained winds of 110 miles an hour, it doesn't mean the whole storm is 110 miles per hour. That's limited to a fairly small area. One of the concerns that we have around here with the effects of Beryl is going to be heavy rain possible heading into Monday, maybe even Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, depending on how fast the storm moves after it makes landfall. So the next 5 days, today, a heat advisory in effect, some late day thunderstorms north of Houston.
I believe this is Fox 26 out of Houston,
a chance for
Texas.
some heavy downpours. Watch out for that. Maybe even a strong thunderstorm. Also some scattered showers and a couple storms Sunday. And then it's Monday with the effects of Beryl coming in. So there it is, the landfall taking place near Tulum, Mexico. From here, it moves across the Yucatan today, will likely weaken to a tropical storm before very long, and then could re-strengthen to a hurricane before making landfall. I'm glad to say that none of our computer models is really showing a rapid intensification of the storm, including our exclusive Fox model, which did show the rapid intensification as it moved toward the islands of the Caribbean a few days ago. Port Isabel, so we're talking about that area there around South Padre Island, looks to be the most likely spot, but if it moves a little bit farther to the north, obviously we would feel more of the effects from the winds. What concerns me is that after it moves inland, it's expected to take a turn to the north, which puts us in a primary region for getting in on rain bands, which is where you really get the heavy stuff. This is the tropical satellite here, and a closer up view shows that landfall that just took place there off to the north of Tulum, Mexico, there in the Yucatan Peninsula. All right, bigger picture here. I want to show you the spaghetti plot where we put together our computer models like the GFS and the Euro model. The white line is the European model. And some of the darker red lines you see are the GFS and then what we call an ensemble model. They're all in pretty good agreement of the system moving to the north, actually past San Antonio, coming into the day on Monday and Tuesday.
The purple line is just a line his kid drew. He snuck into the station and was playing with the equipment. I'm sorry.
So that's going to be one of our concerns, is that we end up on that wet side or, dirty side of the circulation. In the meantime, our concern this morning is heat. We have a heat advisory in effect. This morning's temperatures are actually a little more comfortable than yesterday, but it's not going to stay that way. A few scattered showers heading into the afternoon, and then a chance for some storms off to the north of Houston tonight. And then let me show you this. Tomorrow, a better chance for seeing some heavy thunderstorms with a weak front coming down to our area that is not going to hang around long enough to push Beryl away from us. So a 50% rain chance tomorrow, and then about a 70 to 80% chance for likely heavy rain.
98.
With the impacts of Beryl moving in early next week.
Right on.
from the National Hurricane Center. So
All
I'm
right,
looking
man,
down
you
and
can
reading it here
chill
for you.
with
They
your
say Beryl makes landfall in the
Beryl
Yucatan
makes
Peninsula.
landfall.
This was just
All
on.
right. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, let's look at things that's going on right now. This is WMAZ, I believe. I'm not quite sure where this is out of, but this is what they were talking about, the spaghetti models, right? This thing's going to hit, and basically, right? I guess where's my mouse? I guess basically here in the Gulf of Mexico, where it's coming across the Yucatan, this part right here, really, it's making Georgia, right? So it really depends on the temperature of the water, how hot this water is in here, right? So when it's hitting this landfall, and I know this from hurricanes that used to come ashore in Louisiana when they had the marshlands that actually killed a lot of the hurricane power before it got on land. So, and I mean, take a look at this here in the Caribbean. Look at all this heat, all this hot water right here. I mean, normally storms are going to come. They start off in West Africa, make their way across the Atlantic, and then once they start hitting these warm waters here, then it's feeding time. And there you go. So really, it's going to depend when it gets on the other side. They're saying Brownsville is probably going to hit Brownsville, Texas, which is basically a hurricane magnet in Texas. And people in Texas know. They're like, oh, Brownsville? No, I don't want to live there. Too many hurricanes. Although Houston gets their fair share as well. Yeah, so some crazy shit there. And I think we should be able to see it live right now. So this is WeatherCam Mexico News Today live. And have you ever seen what a hurricane looks like? People think it's just big giant tornado that's out in the middle of the water, and it's like, well, it kind of is, but it is so big of a tornado that you can't really see the form of it because it's churning the water and then the clouds and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I'm a meteorological nut when it comes to this stuff. When I worked in TV down south, worked with too many meteorologists who storm chasers. Because in North Mississippi, you did have just an overabundance of tornadoes, straight line winds too, which it does about as much damage as a tornado. It's just not a funnel. It's just very powerful, focused winds, and they can leave a trail of destruction just like everything else. So if that's not bad enough for you, Glenn Fry said it best. The heat is on. It's on the streets. And it's probably everywhere else too. Extremely dangerous record-breaking heat wave takes hold across much of the United States. The National Weather Service predicts temperatures of 110 to 115 degrees in inland California today and tomorrow. Right? So an extremely dangerous heat wave set to break daily temperature records across western and southern states through the holiday weekend, says the National Weather Service. Yesterday, the extreme heat comes as 28,000 people were forced to evacuate their homes because of a raging wildfire in Northern California. The Thompson Fire in Oroville, about 65 miles north of California, had grown to 3,568 acres and was only 7% contained Wednesday night. So it is July. Here we are. That means hot, humid ass for a lot of the country, and then hot, dry, oh shit, everything's flammable out west in the deserts. California's Death Valley was 122 degrees. I don't know if that's not a record, but I mean, we're talking like guys who were in Iraq during during the Gulf War and the Iraq War. We're talking about like 122 degrees on the daily, on the regular. In the more populated parts of California, Sacramento at 99 degrees, and Bakersfield was 108 yesterday. Downtown Los Angeles and San Francisco were a more mild 81 and 75 respectively. Yeah, because they're right next to the ocean there, and particularly, San Francisco's there on a bay. And if you've ever been to San Francisco in the summertime, you still got to bring like a light jacket if you're going to be out, because it gets a little chilly there. But the rest of the state, no, it's a hellscape. The southern U.S., of course, now we're talking about my peoples now. The southern U.S. was covered by heat advisories or warnings Thursday. Birmingham, Alabama, 94 degrees. You say, oh, well, that's not hot. But the heat index, 102. And basically the heat index, you got to figure in how much humidity is in the air, because that hot air turns into hot moisture. And as you know, hot moisture is good for some things. But most everything else, it is not good. Hotlanta, 93. Shreveport at 97. Tulsa, 98 degrees, with heat indexes making all those places feel hotter than 100 degrees. And down there, Mississippi, Greenwood, 97 degrees, but it felt like 114. In total, more than 100 million people spent Thursday under heat alerts. That's almost a third of the country. A third of the country under heat alerts, right? In the West, it'll only get hotter and more dangerous. National Weather Service forecast temperatures 110 to 115 degrees in inland California on Friday and Saturday, and parts of desert southwest could reach 120. Whew! Hot, 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 right? So if you're going to be doing shit outside, be safe, drink a lot of water. Even I don't like water. I usually drink like the spring mineral cinnamon. I don't give a fuck. Just drink water, because even if you're not thirsty, your body needs the water, because you don't even know that shit's getting just sucked right out of you, and not in a good way. Again, none of these are in good ways. What do we got next here? What's this business? Oh man, hot summer. Can't the planet just turn on the AC? I know we do. We have AC down south. It's called Antarctica, but if we turn that AC on, oopsie sauce. Hope you're a strong swimmer. Maybe watch that movie Waterworld. Take some lessons on what not to do. Kevin Costner. But yeah, so South Padre Island is going to get the brunt of this storm that's coming. And speaking of South Padre Island, it's not just it's not just the weather that's going to be fucking with them. Jabberjaws is coming. You know what I'm talking about. Shark attacks 4 beachgoers on South Padre Island on July 4th. Texas game warden says. My buddy Rick Salas turned me on to this this story yesterday, so I appreciate you, bud. A man was severely bitten in the leg by a shark. So I don't know if we can. Let's see. Yeah, we can do that. So I think what's happening, and I'm no marine biologist by any stretch, but probably the reason you're seeing so many of these sharks near South Padre Island is because they're running away from that fucking hurricane, right? You know, you see that in the background, all that bullshit back there. They're like, we're having none of that, mister. And what basically these sharks are chasing the food too. So what could also be, what's really, they're not afraid of the storm. They're just afraid of not eating. So, you know, so that's probably what happened. They're like, the food started saying, fuck this, I'm out. And so they said, well, The food's leaving. I'm out too. So, South Padre Island, 2 people were bitten, a third was grazed, and a fourth man grazed on, and a fourth man was injured fending off a shark on South Padre Island on Independence Day, said a Texas game warden. All the attacks happened yesterday and were believed to have been associated with the same shark. Dun, 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 dun. 3 barrels, and he still went down. Hey, old lady, old Spanish lady. Sorry, a little quint for you. All the attacks happened yesterday, said game warden Captain Chris Dowdy. South Padre Island police were first called to the 4100 block of Gulf Boulevard around 11 a.m. yesterday for severe shark bite to a man's leg. South Padre Island PD and the fire department provided first aid at the scene before the man was transported to a Brownsville hospital. Don't go to Brownsville Hospital, dude. Brownsville Hospital. You know what's coming up? Look, you just got away from sharks and you're going to a Brownsville Hospital. You better be out of there by like Monday, because more than sharks is coming. Anyway, the shark at this time, Dowdy says the shark has now escaped to open waters and said there is no plan to contain it. That's Ivan Herrera there at KSAT. KSAT. Very good. I mean, not the shark bites. That's not good, but that was a good story. So once again, with these hurricanes, just take all the precautions if you live around the area. I mean, if you're about 30 miles inland, you really don't have anything to worry about. I mean, it really all depends. Once it gets over the peninsula and it hits those waters there, in that bay, or whatever that area is, I'm not quite sure. I guess that's the, but whatever temperatures those waters are. And so, with this heat wave and everything, that means the water's getting hot. And that means, so, and we're only in July, folks. So, if you're around this area, batten down the hatches, stay safe. You know the drill. Speaking of, staying safe, not only on the ground, but in the air, right? It seems like we have some issues with planes and whatnot. So there was a plea deal offered Boeing in connection with 2 plane crashes, right? So and here's some details about that if you haven't gotten to this yet. So it's from a few days ago, but I think this is kind of appropriate to what's coming up. Federal prosecutors and victims' families are waiting for Boeing to decide whether to accept a plea deal that would settle a criminal fraud charge, right? So they're waiting for Boeing to decide whether to accept a plea deal that would settle a criminal fraud charge, accusing them of misleading regulators who approved the 737 MAX jetliner before 2 of the planes crashed. What's up, Bella? Good to see you. Rick says South Padre Island has barrier islands, usually weakens to smaller hurricanes. Yeah, down around the Mississippi Gulf Coast too. You have like Cat Island, Ship Island, Deer Island. I can't remember the other islands down there, but those barrier islands help too. And Louisiana used to have a pretty healthy marshland on the southern boot there. So when a hurricane would hit that, it would slow it down. So by the time it got to the mainland, it was kind of harmless. So, but back to the air, relatives of some of the 346 people who died in the October 2018 and March 19th crashes are furious about the plea offer, as they should be, which Justice Department prosecutors spelled out in an online meeting with the families and their lawyers. The families want to put Boeing on trial. And they should be on trial. Plea bargains, all that does is just keep, shh, we're going to make this go away. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, all right. Somebody's going to get some cash. All right, but all right. Maybe some lower level crud's going to go to jail. Maybe, probably not, but, you know, and then it goes away. And then the next thing comes along. This package offers another opportunity for Boeing to hide their misdeeds from the public. Ike Rifle, a Californian whose 2 sons died in the second 737 MAX crash, said Monday. Families are very disappointed, but we vow to fight on. Paul Castle, a former federal judge who is representing some of the victims' families, calls it a sweetheart deal for Boeing. And some of the lawyers involved in the case, however, say a plea deal is better than nothing, right? That's the thing. The better than nothing, incrementalism. Come on, just we okay, yeah, we gave up so much, but we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this little thing, you know. Yes, very, very disturbing. So the Justice Department first charged Boeing with fraud in January 2021, but agreed not to prosecute if the company paid a fine and followed other terms for 3 years. It's like fine and probation, right? That's basically what it is. It is, Bella. Isn't that strange how that happens like that? It's kind of crazy. That's a little nutty. So what are they accused of? The Justice Department wants Boeing to plead guilty to a single count of fraud for deceiving the FAA about new flight control software for the 737 MAX and how much training pilots of older 737 models would need to safely fly the plane. In the 21 settlement, Boeing blamed the deception on 2 lower-level employees, one of whom was later acquitted after a trial in federal court. That's how they do it. A little money. Here's your money. There's your money. Oh, we're baddies. We're the baddies. Look at these. No, we're not the baddies. These fuckers are the baddies. These 2 randos that are going to get fired, and one of them may go to jail. Is Boeing likely to accept the plea offer? The company isn't saying. Lawyers for the victims' families say the company would be crazy to reject it. Yeah, they would be. If they take the deal, it would plead guilty in what likely would be a very short court session. If it turns down the offer, the Justice Department is vowing to take the case to trial. Wink, wink. Which would expose more details of Boeing's actions while it was asking the FAA to certify the MAX. So basically what that means is, I mean, you don't really need any kind of expert analysis to hear this. It's like basically the Justice Department says, hey, look, you probably should take this deal, all right? Because if you don't, things might get a little messy for you, if you know what I'm saying, right? Can the judge block the deal? Yes, the plea and the sentence outlined by the Justice Department, including a $244 million fine, chump change, and appointment of a monitor to oversee the agreement. A monitor to oversee the agreement would be filed in U.S. District Court in Fort Worth, Texas. If Judge Reed O'Connor accepts the agreement, he would not be able to change the terms approved by Boeing and the prosecutors. If the judge rejects the plea deal, Boeing and the Justice Department could try to negotiate a new agreement or go to trial. The families will most certainly object before Judge Reed O'Connor and ask that he reject the plea if Boeing accepts. So we'll have to see how that works. Because, I mean, and that's, you know, as we keep saying, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. It's the same shit. They were doing this in the 80s. They get caught, you know, they pay a fine, you know, get a tongue lashing. Some rando goes to jail. And that's it. And you never, It's just simple fraud. You just do it better next time. Exactly. It's not about the law. It's about getting caught, y'all. Don't get caught. That's what America's all about. Don't get caught. And if you get caught, deny, 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 deny. If you do, even if they got you dead to rights, deny, 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 because there are going to be some fools out there be like, you know what? I agree with that person for some strange reason. What else have we got? Oh yeah, so the airline's not really getting not really in the good news section of the news today. So here's another fun one. Delta flight diverts to New York after passengers are served spoiled food. Hang on a second. I don't know if this tells her. I haven't seen this video. We'll see. We'll see what this does. All right.
A transatlantic Delta flight bound for Amsterdam had to make a U-turn and make an emergency landing at JFK after the airline says some of the in-flight meals served to passengers were spoiled. Port Authority says Delta Flight 136 from Detroit, with nearly 300 passengers on board, had to be diverted and landed in New York.
Wait a minute, Detroit? Was it Detroit-style pizza? Because I don't think that's it. I think that's an attempt to smear our brethren in Michigan, and the ladies too make those delicious pizzas. Detroit style is pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
York around 4 a.m. This FlightAware map shows the plane's path, turning over as it flew over eastern Canada. Medical crews were waiting for them at JFK, treating 24 people who ingested the rotten food, 14 passengers and 10 members of the flight crew. Everyone declined a ride to the hospital. Delta says it is investigating how the spoiled food ended up being served to passengers. A spokesperson for Delta saying this is not the service Delta is known for, and we sincerely apologize to our customers for the inconvenience and delay in their travels. A woman who says she was on that flight posted this to Facebook, saying passengers were given a choice of chicken or pasta. Less than an hour into the flight, she says the pilot alerted everyone that the food was contaminated and that people who ate the chicken had to be seen by emergency responders.
So yeah, Delta is not known for its exquisite dining selections
Angel
on their
Baby
flights.
Doe was laid to
Wait
rest
a
more than
minute.
20 years.
Who said that you could keep talking, lady computer person? Sorry. We have new toys and bells and whistles here. So I put those two stories together not to scare the hell out of you about flying. I mean, you should probably already have that fear. I know, right? What are we having? Chicken or yeah. So yeah, I had to. I don't have it. I don't think I have it ready to go here. But when I heard that, I wanted to know, was it the chicken or was it the fish? And because it had to be the fish, right? So, but was it the fish? So hang on a second. I forgot to save this address, but hang on a second. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good now. A little setup there, right? Come on, you gonna do this? Okay. So everybody on the plane apparently was having a bad time of it. We do have video of what is happening on the plane.
Oh, I should have had that second cup of coffee.
Yeah, so should have had that second cup of coffee. But here's the thing. It's just like when you got to go somewhere, you usually, like across country mostly, somewhere you got to fly, right? You got to take off, and It was the chicken fish. What's up, D2? Yeah, so they it was terrible. It was really terrible. That you can only have that option, right? Our infrastructure, just a little commentary. Our infrastructure in the United States is just fucked up, to say the least, right? Bridges falling down, roads all over the place are just terrible. There's no thinking outside the box as to the next generation of transportation in this country, right? So, Mornin, Teresa. So, I mean, and it makes you think, why is that the case, right? Why don't we have high speed rail like places in Europe and in Asia, right? Why are we stuck with Amtrak? I don't know. I rode Amtrak recently, back in January when I moved out here to Chicago. And it took, they had to stop like for hours at one point, right? So I almost felt like it was Snowpiercer, right? Like they were going to make me go to the end of the train and then they were going to feed me that, rubber jelly, shit made out of bugs and humans. But I don't know. I think we're being suppressed as far as like what we're able to do, places we can go, right? They want they I don't know. It's the same old stuff you've heard over and over again about suppression of people. How, like, if things were different, we would be in the Jetsons right now. We'd all be like we'd all be enlightened. We'd all be like in these flying some sort of vehicles, and we'd be doing so much different stuff. Our minds would finally evolve. But I think that's, at the end of the day, they don't want people who are in control. They don't want people's minds to evolve. So I did have one more thing. I guess I'll save that for Monday, but it's not really that important. Kind of. About they're trying to, Huffington Post says that Biden should use AI to help him out. Yeah, you shouldn't say that out loud, Huff. I know you guys are getting your cues from them, but maybe keep your dumb ideas that might be against the law to yourselves. Exactly. Soylent Green. Soylent Green is made of people. People like you and me. We're delicious. There is a thing out there called Soylent. Right now, you can buy this stuff. And I believe there is a green variety. They don't call it Soylent Green because it's too on the nose. But they know you know. And you know they know. So just now it's a matter of what do you do next. Speaking of what do we do next, let's see. Oh, we got Round the World with Dee and Friends later today. I don't know if Willie's doing a show today. He did one last night. It was pretty good. So check out Willie Bragg's show. And I think he said he mentioned something about that he's going to do a show, a video on the UK elections. So if you want more in-depth, meaty type stuff about those elections, Willie is your guy. So check him out. Other than that, we got Around the World with Dee and Friends again. I think she's on every day until she says otherwise. Good for you, Dee. Tonight at let's see, 9 p.m. Eastern. World and national news. Usually she has Dr. Joe Firestone on there. Hello, Dr. Joe Firestone. Dr. Joe, yes. He has very nice voice to try and impersonate. But so does Willie. I'm working on my Willie Bragg impression. I just got to find a white wig, and then we're going to make those dreams come true, Willie. We're going to have a Willie contest. Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. Wait. What? I got nothing. We'll see you Monday doing this again. Maybe if we make it through the weekend, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Smell you later. Peace.
This is City Alpha 5! Woo! Damn good song, wasn't it, dog? You like that song? All right.